What's good, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Double A Hef here with another dose of the Truth Scope. So I just saw this video actually yesterday. Talking about a potential trade to send Mr. Ramon James to the Golden State Warriors to pair up with Steph Curry. And I was like, well, obviously they're going to be talking about LeBron and Steph because the NFL season just ended. And, they don't want to talk about how the NBA product is poor. Anyone that's been following basketball, watching basketball, enthusiasts of the game, the quality has just gone down and down and down. So ultimately, they never have anything to talk about outside of either LeBron James or Steph Curry or the LeBron MJ quote unquote GOAT debate. So I'm gonna play this and then I'm gonna chime. All right.
LeBron to consider a trade to pair him with longtime rival Stephen Curry. Sources told Adrian Wojnarowski and Ramona Shelburne the Warriors were eager to present a deal package to LA, but neither the Lakers nor James were ultimately willing to explore a potential blockbuster trade. An excerpt from Woj and Ramona's story on .com reads, Buzz told the Lakers had no desire to trade James, but that he would need to seek the answer on James' state of mind from his agent, Clutch Sports CEO Rich Paul, sources said. Now, as an owner, Buzz has operated with the mindset that she wants her star players content with the franchise and instructed her thinking on referring Warriors leadership to James' representation, sources said. Okay, Stephen A. Should LeBron have wanted to team up with Steph and the Warriors?
So before Stephen A. gives his response to that question, I want to respond to the question. So should LeBron have wanted to team up with Steph Curry in Golden State? My answer to that is yes. If LeBron wants to win another championship, yes. If he doesn't want to win another championship, by all means, stay in LA. And it's pretty much that simple. But I'm gonna go another level deeper after Stephen A. responds.
I'd say yes, simply because Steph Curry, is the greatest shooter God ever created. And LeBron James having somebody like Steph Curry to kick the ball to would have been absolutely fantastic. Now, according to my sources, because I'm not going to just sit up there and as great and phenomenal as Woj is. I've been covering the NBA for decades, so I kind of know a few people. The story was absolutely true. It was certainly that the Warriors were looking to pursue. And, according to other sources, Rich Paul killed that deal. Rich Paul didn't want that to happen. That's what I'm hearing. In fairness to Rich Paul, I haven't spoken to him, haven't had time to speak to him this morning, so I don't know whether to confirm that or whatever. In fairness to Rich Paul, we want to make sure that we're clear about that. But obviously, when you think about all the things that LeBron has going on, Tinseltown would be a lot better than San Francisco. And I'm quite sure that no matter what Rich Paul may have wanted to do, for people out there to say that Rich Paul basically killed it, you have to take into consideration Rich Paul's not going to kill a damn thing that LeBron doesn't want him to kill. Mm-hmm. So if it was killed by Rich Paul...
Agreed, Rich Paul is not going to kill anything that LeBron doesn't want to be killed. But the question is, then why did LeBron want to kill an opportunity at another championship? And this is where I go a little bit deeper, okay? So, it's either one of two things. Either LeBron James has convinced himself, truly, by passing Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, that he is the greatest player of all time, or LeBron James has realized that nothing that he can do is going to put him above Michael Jordan in the eyes of basketball lore. He's never going to surpass Michael Jordan as the greatest of all time as it pertains to the sport of basketball. So, in my opinion, it's only one of those two things. He's convinced himself that he's the GOAT and he has nothing else to do, or he finally understands that there's nothing that he can do to become the GOAT. Now, I know there's a lot of people that are going to say, oh, well, Bronny is at USC and yada, yada, and the other son. And look, it's not like Golden State is in, Minnesota, or Milwaukee, San Francisco and LA, they're not close per se, but when you're a quote unquote billionaire, as LeBron James is always purported to be every year, right? That's nothing to make the trip, especially if you're still driven and being galvanized by trying to surpass Michael Jordan. So, make of that what you will on that part.
Therefore, it was killed by LeBron James. Having said all of that, I think that highlights an issue that we can't ignore any longer. We have to wonder how happy LeBron James is with Lakers management. And by Lakers management, I'm thinking Pelinka more than Jeanie Buss. Jeanie Buss is absolutely phenomenal. Everybody loves Jeanie. We all know this. But in the same breath, if you're LeBron James, you're looking at the team. You're wondering about what exactly is being done to position you for title contention. And you're looking at some things and seeing what y'all are lacking, and you're wondering whether or not that's an ideal situation for you in LA. In the end, to answer the question again directly, however, I would tell you, LeBron James, if there is one person on the planet he should want to play with, it would be Steph Curry, the greatest.
I agree. I agree with that. And also, just a quick disclaimer, because I know there's going to be a bunch of people out there saying, "Oh, but when Kevin Durant joined, Steph Curry, it was the weakest move, right? It was so bad, and how come it's okay for LeBron to do it?" Well, there's huge differences here. LeBron is in the twilight of his career. Now, don't get me wrong, he's playing great, but he's in the twilight. As Max Kellerman has put it over a decade ago, LeBron is, he's not over the cliff, but he's at the pinnacle of the cliff. Okay, so not the pinnacle of his climax, of his peak per se. No. He's at the pinnacle, of the cliff. Like one more step and he's going over that shit. So LeBron James, knock on wood, is one wrong landing away from being out the league. One stupid defender standing underneath him when he's landing, stuff like that. And again, not to wish that on the brother, but come on, my man's 40, father time's undefeated.
Shooter God has ever created. There is nobody above Steph Curry. And LeBron James, being who he is and what he brings to the table,
this nigga Stephen A. Smith, all right, land that damn plane, nigga. Damn.
He's going to stay in LA. The team, last year got to a conference final. He's obviously got Antonio Davis, who he brought in there himself. Anthony Davis, who he brought in there himself. You don't want to bail out on him. That's not the right thing to do either. To go chase another.
Well, first of all, let me pump the brakes for you, Mad Dog. LeBron James doesn't owe Anthony Davis anything. If LeBron James wanted to leave and go wherever the hell he wanted to go, he doesn't owe him anything now. Am I sure that LeBron would have that conversation with AD? Yeah, I'm sure that he would, because that's common courtesy. But ultimately, LeBron doesn't owe AD anything. LeBron basically legitimized and brought validity to AD's career with that bubble championship. Now, granted, AD was a huge part of that. Look, honestly, people can make the case that AD should have won Finals MVP. So, make of that what you will. So I'm not trying to poo-poo AD, but ultimately AD went to LA to do a job. All right, LeBron James brought him over there to do a job. There's other people that well, actually, I don't want to say that, because no one really wanted to play with LeBron back during that time, if any of you guys remember. But yeah, LeBron doesn't owe AD anything, man, though. So pump the brakes. And, brothers, y'all need to get that in your heads too. People live life like, you owe people stuff. No, you don't. The only person that you owe anything to is yourself. Okay? You should start reimagining or revisioning your life through that lens, because not only is it not beneficial to go around thinking that you owe people stuff. People deserve things from you because of maybe you did them a favor, or a large favor, small favor, whatever the scale. Ultimately, you have to live your life for you. Now, am I saying that you should be shiesty? No. Should you be shady, grimy? No. Don't do that. You should always, be upfront and stand up person. But to go around to thinking that a LeBron James would owe Anthony Davis anything, come on.
Third championship.
You got to do what's best for you. All right? You got to do what's best for you. While we're existing here on this earthly plane, you have to get the most out of life. So basically, squeeze that orange for every drop of juice that you can get out of it. So no, you don't owe anybody anything. Don't leave anything left on the table if it comes to whether or not someone's gonna be like, oh well, you owed me this. No. And you know what? They'll get over it, and if they don't, hey, that's one less person that you got to worry about bringing negativity into your life.
To me, was not the right way to do it. Fix what's going on right now in LA. So I think he made the right move. Plus the fact he's never going to leave LA. It's his billion-dollar empire. He loves Southern California. His kid goes to USC. I mean, he's not leaving LA. So I think it was a pipe dream anyway by the Warriors, and probably a little act of desperation. But I'm glad LeBron said no, and it sounds like it was affirmed though. He had no interest in it. Let me give you a day to think about it. Sounds like he wanted nothing to do with it, and good for him because he's went Cleveland, Miami, Cleveland, LA. I mean, now we're going to go to Golden State to chase another championship. I didn't like it, so I'm.
Well, if you're going to go to Golden State to chase the championship at this stage of your career, I don't think anyone would really have a problem with it because most people understand that LeBron James is chasing or was chasing Michael Jordan. All right, so I don't think anyone would really have a problem with it. It's not like LeBron would go to that team as like the third, fourth option just to try to, get like a participation championship. No, if he goes to Golden State, Steph is either going to be 1 and LeBron's 2, or Steph's going to be 1A, LeBron's 1B. So it's really, if he were to go to Golden State and win a championship, I don't think that we could put an asterisk next to it because, yeah, Steph Curry is far greater than Anthony Davis. But if they were able to trade for LeBron James, what would Golden State have to give up? So what would that team look like afterwards? Will they be able to hold on to Clay? Hopefully, ideally. And, one would imagine that they would probably move on from Draymond, which would be very interesting. But because, Draymond and LeBron kind of do the same thing, except Draymond's still way more impactful on defense. But obviously, they put the kibosh on the trade, so we'll never know.
Fine with what he did. Good for him.
It made me laugh.
You know what made me laugh? Looking at you, Miss McNutt or McNutt Job, whatever the hell your name is. And no offense to the sister, no offense. But ultimately, y'all, look, man, I'll tell you just like this. I'm looking at this chick on this panel, this board, whatever, this desk. And I'm thinking to myself, there ain't no qualified brothers out there to be talking sports. I don't want to see women talking sports unless it's women's sports. Period. I don't want to see nor hear women talking about men's sports. Unless, you're at like a restaurant or a bar or a Super Bowl party and they're talking. And even then I don't really want to hear it, but okay, you have a right to your opinion. But when it comes to like discussions like this, no, I'm sorry. I don't want to do it.
I thought this was hysterical. This takes the concept of super team to another level, even though both of these guys are well into their NBA careers.
What? You see what I'm talking about? Let me rewind this, man. Let me rewind this bullshit.
It made me laugh. I thought this was hysterical. This takes the concept of super team to another level, even though both of these guys are well into their NBA.
How does it take super teams to a whole nother level when LeBron James is damn near 40 years old? Okay, the tires are about to blow out. Yes, I get it. He's playing great, especially for his age. I understand that. But a man at 40, I don't care what team you put him on, it's not a super team. By definition, it's not a super team. Okay? It is not a super team. LeBron James doesn't even play defense anymore. So how super can that team be? All right. Second, Steph Curry, he's at the end of his prime. It's looking like, he's a small guard. He can still shoot lights out, but he's no spring turkey anymore. And again, to acquire LeBron James, who would the Golden State Warriors have to give up? Miss McNutty. So we don't even know yet, but I could only imagine you got to give up some pieces to match LeBron's salary, right? So it's not just like, oh, we're just gonna bring LeBron on and add him into the Wiggins, the Kuminga, the Curry, the Draymond. Like, come on. And this is another reason why you shouldn't be on this damn board talking shit that you don't even know what the hell you're talking about.
Careers better than a decade for Steph, and of course, 2 decades now for LeBron. I couldn't help but think for the moment, if this were to happen, whose team would it be?
You see her face? Do you see this woman's face? She said, I couldn't help but just wonder, whose team would it be? Like, this is exactly why you shouldn't be on TV talking about this. Okay? Because anybody out there, like, is there anybody out there? There. Anyone out there knows, beyond a shadow of a doubt, whose damn team it is. So what the fuck are we talking about here? and then she says it like it's an aha moment, like, yeah, what do you guys think? Like, let me rewind this. Look at Mad Dog. Mad Dog's like, you know what? I might hit. Mad Dog like, let me loosen up these cufflinks. I might have to slap this bitch. Just say one more stupid ass thing about my beloved NBA. Mad Dog like, back in my days, I would have hit him with the YI order. To the moon, bitch.
Better than a decade for Steph, and of course, 2 decades now for LeBron. I couldn't help but think for the moment, if this were to happen, whose team would it be? Mm-hmm. Right? Like that just, because of our job, that popped into my head.
Let's stop. No, it's not.
Because of our jobs, that popped into my head. Yo, listen, that's why you should be at home, okay? Taking care of some kids, something, all right? Reading some damn nursery rhymes. Because of our jobs, that popped into my head. Oh, then clearly you're not good at your job. What the fuck? But you look, no offense to this sister. I get it. The society that we live in now teaches these super liberal ideologies. Like, hey, not only are you equal to a man, you're better than a man, and you could do things that men can do better than he can. Only a strong black woman can, leap tall buildings in a single bound. You know what I'm saying? So look, no offense to this. It's not trying to knock her. I get it. I get the push. Equality. Hey, look, did you realize there's 2 quote unquote Caucasian people, quote unquote Caucasian people, and one's male, one's female, and then there's 2 quote unquote black people, one's male, one's female. So obviously, they're trying to, even things out per se. But, they got to stop that. Will they stop it? No, but they're just going to keep allowing these women to put themselves in positions to say things like what she just said.
No, it's not. Let me tell you why. It's not. It's an interesting subject.
Nigga said, no, it's not. Yeah, let me see.
If this were to happen, whose team would it be? Mm-hmm. Right? Like that just, because of our job, that popped into my head.
Let's stop. No, it's not. No, it's not. Let me tell you why. It's not. It's an interesting subject, but it ain't no question.
Tell me.
You go to Golden State, there's only one man, and that's Steph Curry.
Yeah, but
now,
even if LeBron went there.
No, there's no yeah, but Molly. And again, this is the problem when you have these women on these damn panels, man. Like, no. It's not even a question. It's not even an interesting question. It's not an interesting discussion. It's very simple. It's Steph Curry's team. Period. There's nothing that can happen that would change that.
Correct.
Steph Curry, there's no one who would supersede Steph Curry in the Bay.
Okay. Sorry to bring this guy up, but in the context of the Warriors championships, we have heard this debate when it comes to the time that Kevin Durant.
Did she just say, bring this guy up? That's your ace? Kevin Durant, 2016, 2017? Kevin Durant, almost 7 years ago. 7 years ago. That's your ace? Kevin Durant, who was in his prime and was up 3-1 against the Golden State Warriors and then lost and then joined them the very next season. And even then, when Kevin Durant was there, everybody knew it was Steph's team. The only debate was who's